just the kind that I love. What about you?
Yeah, it's been quite a manic day today.
It's been actually, hasn't it? It's been so
in a good way. Yeah, in a good way.
Mondays are always a bit busy here in Diva HQ. They are at your place too, aren't they?
Well, remember the song Manic Monday? Can't remember. Was it the Bangles that sang that?
Yes, I think so. Shall we sing it? No, we won't sing it. Now, we're coming to you live tonight, and we're talking to you tonight about the lipstick effect. Now, we did have a little chat about this last week with you, but a few of you missed it, and a few of you wanted us to discuss it a little bit further with you. So Annie and I thought we'd do another live, considering what's been going on over the weekend and the progress that's, I guess you can call it progress, or the changes that are being made in our industry at the moment. It's quite apt that we speak about the lipstick effect. Now, not many of you may have heard of the lipstick effect before. I've been talking to lots of people about it today, I can assure you. So, Annie, tell us, what is the lipstick effect?
Well, the lipstick effect is also known as the lipstick indicator. It goes way back to 1929 in the early war days. And it was an indicator between the economy and the beauty industry. So if you remember, watching all of those very, very old movies, you would see the ladies, the movie stars with bright red lips. And so that was part of the lipstick factor or lipstick index. And so what they were saying is that there's a direct link between the economy and when an economy is in crisis and the beauty industry. So women will buy and spoil themselves in our industry to make themselves feel better and forget the day-to-day nonsense that's going on. So if we go back to 2008 when we had the GFC, L'Oreal, for example, their sales went up actually by 5.3% that first year of the GFC. Wow. So, going back from early to 1929, and here we are.
Yeah.
All these years later, nothing has changed. We will keep going into crisis, and albeit each crisis that we have on the planet is different, but nonetheless, it's still a crisis. And, you just have to know that we all will get through it. But the good thing is for us really is that we are in an industry where, and if you're really honest with yourself, Nick, and anyone who's watching, doesn't spending money, throwing the credit card out on a new lipstick or, just a little bit of feel good, doesn't make it just feel better, even if it's for a very short period of time. It doesn't matter. It enables us to get those endorphins flowing to make us feel good for that moment of time, which then allows us to cope better in situations of crisis.
That's exactly right. And, if you look good, you feel good. So it's an opportunity for us as an industry really to pull our socks up and start promoting and start communicating effectively to take advantage of the lipstick effect, because really we dodged a massive bullet with the Prime Minister declaring that we could stay open. So we're very, very lucky, don't you think?
Look, I think we are very lucky at this stage. I don't know whether eventually we will be shut by the government or not, but I think that this is a crisis that most people of our age and younger have never ever experienced any kind of crisis in the world. A lot of the girls coming through now won't even know what the GFC is or what.
Right, exactly right.
So they didn't live through that either. They didn't live through the 80s when interest rates were at 21 and 25%. They haven't lived through all of that. And, do we come out different people? Absolutely we do. And business will look very different than it does today. But look, there is always an upside, and me, I'm the half glass full girl. In every shitty situation that there is on the planet, whether it's personally or in business, I'm always looking for the lessons and always looking for how I can be a little bit smarter and bulletproof myself for the next time around. And so you do get smarter. And so it makes us think outside the box, as to how we might do business differently in
Mm.
the new economy that we're
Mm.
in. Because let's face it, this is our new normal. We are in a new economy. So we have to adapt. And my take on this is that only those that have adaptability will come through this.
I agree wholeheartedly. And, just in my observations, the past, 48 to 72 hours, the salons that I've seen that have made the decision to close, and some of them have made the decision to close for their own health reasons. So I'm not talking about them, because there are some people whose health is compromised, and they need to close down for their health reasons. But the salons that are choosing to close down because they're getting a few cancellations here and there, and they're starting to panic, are the ones that I don't know if they're going to be able to come back. But I've been working with lots and lots of salons, as you know today, Annie, because we've had a few discussions. And so far today, we've had requests to build about 6 online shops. So that's something we talked about last week before things got really, really bad. We've been saying, get yourself an online shop so that you can make it through these tough times selling retail. So instead of trading money for time in your salon, if we close down, at least you've got another revenue stream. So it's interesting to see the difference in the way that salon owners are thinking at the moment and the way people are reacting to these announcements.
I do want to say though, Nick, it gives us the opportunity just to self-reflect. And, we can be dishonest, if you like, with whoever you like, but you can't be dishonest with yourself. You know what your reality is.
Yeah.
And I think through this that you have to be brutally honest and just take stock of what you haven't done in your business.
Yeah.
So what you could have done, and look, we know that this is a once in a year crisis.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll be the worst thing that ever happens in our lifetime. But just to take stock of your business and what you could have done before now, so that you still had income stream coming through. Because let's face it, most people, if your front door closes, then that's it. That's the end of the business. There is no income coming in, unless you've got some kind of residual income. You can't rely on stocks. You can't rely on house prices right now. You can't rely on any of that. So I just think the lesson here for everybody, and even you and I, Nick, included here, is to look at our own businesses and think, well, how could we do better? And I know you and I have had many conversations, even though we've done a lot to bulletproof ourselves. What else can we do to move forward, so that if anything ever happened again, God forbid, or you know what, and it's not just about global crises or national crisis. What about a health crisis?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. And I think that I think a lot of salon owners have been caught on the back foot here because they haven't prepared for the worst. And we know from the work that we do with salons that anything can happen at any time in anyone's life or anyone's career or anyone's business. So when we work with salons, we always make sure that we're helping you to set up a very solid foundation for long-term success, regardless of any sort of outside influences or external influences or happenings. So, this, I think, has made everyone sit back and think, well, what could I have done differently? What can I do differently? And starting to put plans into action. And I can say that I'm very proud of our industry because a lot of people have been very swift to make changes. Which is exciting to see because, I love a bit of a makeover and I love people making a difference in their business. So, but really the point we want to get across tonight is that this is an opportunity for us as an industry because we're not closed down. We don't know if they're going to close us down. And history tells us that our industry survives the best out of any industry out there in a crisis. So thanks to the lipstick effect, because I spent my entire day on Friday in clinics and salons. So, women still want to feel beautiful.
Correct. And we also discussed this last week. Same thing. I was at a hairdresser having, great treatment and a cut. And so, you and I still out there spending money. And one of the other things that I said last week too, if you didn't jump on that call with us, is that you're expecting your clients to come into your business right now and spend money with you. So, what you need to do is be reciprocating. You need to be spending money as well. So you need to be supporting your local businesses, the local restaurants. If you can't order, if you can't go to the restaurant, order takeaway meals and takeaway coffees and support others around you in business. This is not a one-way street. You want people to come into your business, you've got to make sure that you're reciprocating as well. Don't throw your hands in the air. That is absolutely the single worst thing that you could be doing for yourself, is going, oh my God, and I've had a few of those messages today. I've been messaging a lot of the clinics that I've been working with, just to make sure that everybody's okay, that their mindset is okay. And most of them are pretty good, I have to say, because you and I work with them, but there still is a lot of panic out there. So I've been able to give a lot of really good ideas, for the short and long term, to some of the girls that we work with now. So don't throw your hands in the air, be adaptable. And I just want to say here, Nick, before I throw back to you, because I want to ask you a question, I just want you all to be kind to each other. So there are clinics out there, as Nick said, that have chosen to close right now. And even though we haven't been asked to, for whatever reason that they wanted to close, that's their lookout. And I don't want anyone to be judgmental to salon owners that have decided to close. You don't know someone's circumstances. You don't know what they've put in place to protect their clients, their staff, and themselves. So please don't be judgmental. And the other way around as well. So there's girls that have decided to close. Don't judge those that have decided to stay open. That's really, really important. We need solidarity in this industry right now. We don't need to be bitching and pulling each other apart right now.
No, I agree with you, and thank you for saying that, Annie. That's very well said, because I've been wondering how I can bring that up after watching what's been going on social media today. So thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, I'm quite saddened by the discord, amongst salon owners out there, to be honest with you. We are one industry, and we will remain strong if we are united. It doesn't matter that some choose to close and some stay open. That's an individual choice for economic circumstances. You just don't know what's going on in someone's life, so please don't judge. It's just not right for you to be able to do that. But Nick, I know you went to spa last week, and we were talking about it this morning, about the fabulous measures that they had in place. So can you share what happened when you attended that spa?
Yes, look, and I've shared these strategies with a fair few salons and clinics today to implement some of these protocols if you haven't already. Now, the first thing that I noticed that was different with this clinic was that they not only sent an SMS reminder, but they sent me an email too, which they usually don't do. And this email was all about how they're protecting my health and how they're protecting their own health as well. So keeping their clinic safe. They have implemented social distancing. They have implemented safety protocols as well. So it was really good to get that email before I even walked in the door. So I knew what to expect. Not only that, but they were nurturing me and making me feel safe and like I was cared for. So if you want to start implementing an email to let people know that they're safe, then, hopefully your no-shows will drop just from that one little step that you can take with your protocols. Now, then when I arrived at the clinic, there was someone there that opened the door for me. And I'm a bit of a germ.
Sensational. Really, I thought that was just such a smart thing for them to do.
Yeah, and it was lovely to have the door open, because not only did I feel special, but, being the germphobe that I usually am anyway, and I'm more so now, I didn't want to touch that door. I didn't know who'd been in and out that door. So it was really lovely that they opened the door for me. And they were able to do that because they have actually staggered their appointments. So their appointments, they're not booking anyone to come in at the same time. They're staggering appointments. And it just worked so smoothly, because when I was arriving, They let me in, and then the next step in the procedure was to say, we're just letting you know that we've put, procedures in place to keep you safe and to keep us safe and to stop the spread of this horrible virus. So they had gloves on and they had a mask on as well. And they said, can we just take your temperature? So they took my temperature with one of those infrared thermometers, which was great, and I passed the test, thankfully. And
sorry, Nick, to interrupt. I just want to say there, I actually bought 2 of them today, one for my son and his business and one for my business. And so I think that that's a really smart move, and I would do it now. You can actually just jump onto eBay. There's a million of them there before they all go. And I think that that's really good practice for you in your business right now.
Yeah, it's a great step. I loved that. And so, she said, do you mind if we take your temperature? And of course I'm going to say yes. So they took my temperature. Then she said, do you mind sanitizing your hands? And they had, a beautiful silver tray with the hand sanitizer there, and I sanitized my hands. So then we went through the check-in process. Now, because I'm an existing client, there was no paperwork and there was no iPad that I had to touch. So that was good. And then when I sat down, they had separated the chairs in the waiting room. So the social distancing was in effect in their waiting room. The magazines had been removed. There was nothing that you could pick up and fiddle with, which is great because I'm a bit of a fiddler sometimes. So the whole thing just worked beautifully. Then when my therapist came out, she had a mask and gloves on. Usually they'd give me a kiss hello or whatever. That didn't happen, which I was okay with. And I just thought, Annie, that those protocols were perfect. There was nothing that I could have picked up on that they could have done any better. So I've spent a lot of today explaining those protocols over and over to a few people who are just going to take little bits and pieces out of it and take that next step up to make sure that their clients feel comfortable and are safe. So that was great, Annie. Thanks for bringing that up. I think that's a really good subject right now, especially considering we're still open. So we need to make sure that our customers feel safe and secure.
Yes, that's exactly right. And so, I would be putting that on your Facebook page. I would be shouting that from the rooftops, exactly what your protocol is on your Facebook page. And buy yourself an infrared, because you know what? They're not going to be around soon enough. You cannot buy them in chemists right now, because I rang around and tried, and I quickly whipped onto eBay and managed to get 2. But I know that there was still some there. And have it. You'll have it within a week. Just make sure you're buying from Australia and not from overseas, so that you get it expediently and that you can put it into your practice. So that was great. I'm really glad that we talked about that this morning, Nick.
Yeah. So that was a great protocol. But I just think, and I know you think the same, Annie, because we've been talking about this. We always talk about this. But right now, this is a great opportunity for business owners, salon owners, anyone in business, because, we're still open. So we need to be making money, and we need to be. One of my clients said it so beautifully today. He said to me, you know what, Nick? He said, it's full steam ahead. We need to show our strength. We need to show that we're not crumbling, because our customers need to have confidence in us. They're not going to book with you if you look like you're falling apart, if you look like you could shut your doors any day and never reopen. So you need to look good.
Yes, you do. And as the leader of your business, I'm going to share this with you, because this gets into a little bit of mindset here, is that, look, we know it's tough for everybody right now, and some of us mentally can take on bigger loads than others. I get that. But you are the leader and the captain of your ship right now. So you cannot go to work. You cannot go in fear and panic. You cannot share that emotion with your staff. They want a leader in you right now. They don't want a wallflower. They don't want somebody who's crumbling. All they want to know is that their jobs are safe and secure, that physically that they're safe, and they don't need you going in fear and panic. So if you're doing that, please stop it. That's not good leadership. I know it's tough, but put your big girl pants on. You're only going to get through this if you've got the right mental attitude, that you are adaptable, and it is business as usual. And even if we are told to close, it is business as usual. You do not, sorry, you can hear my little dog there. You do not. It's Missy. Yeah, you don't go and just put your head up your backside and think that you're going to have 2 weeks or 4 weeks at home and have a holiday. You market every day. You stay in front of your customers every day, and you put all the plans in place so that when your doors open, you are already fully booked. So that's so important.
Missy, and I'll
Oh,
over. Doesn't sound like Missy's going to be quiet any second soon. So, but what Annie was saying was, you must not stop marketing. You must stay connected 24/7. There she is. Hi, Missy. She sounds so savage, doesn't she? Hi, Missy. Gorgeous thing. So, yes, you must not give up. You must be in constant communication and contact with your clients, whether that be via email, SMS, through your website. You know, we've been talking about creating a blog and a vlog, and you know what? We've got exciting news for you. I just brought up that vlog, and I just have to tell you because I'm so excited. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m., we have an international TV celebrity that's going to be with us. She is one of the most popular online shopping presenters in Europe. And we're fortunate enough to have her with us tomorrow night because we want you to start videoing. We want you to start vlogging. We want you to start doing Facebook Lives because that's how you're going to keep connected with your customers now. And I know a lot of my customers, my salons, are doing videos now, but they're always asking for tips and advice. So tomorrow night, we've got Janie Bennett joining us at 6 o'clock. I'm so excited about this, Annie, because there's so much we're going to be able to learn from her.
And that's right. She's one of the best TV presenters in the world today. So, you know, please share us with your friends, get everybody on board, and we'll just pick her brains.
That's exactly right. So what she's going to do is teach us how to get more bookings using video, how to fill our appointments, how to be more confident, how we can keep people's attention when we're doing videos. She's going to give us all this inside information that you would normally pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for. And there's your other dog. So tomorrow night at 6 p.m, Janie Bennett. So she's one of the world's most famous online shopping presenters, and she's going to be with us tomorrow night. So I feel
a distraction there.
I know. Dogs will always distract me.
Must be dinner time in my house.
It must be. So anyway, that's the lipstick effect, and we're so glad that you joined us tonight. If you're watching this later, if you're in the UK or USA, please feel free to reach out if you've got any queries. We're going to be in the USA in July, so let's do what we need to do now to flatten this curve and be back over in the States in July. We're looking forward to seeing you in Boston. In where else are we going? Chicago. Then we're going to Toronto, and which isn't the States, it's Canada, but you know where I mean. And we're going to be back live tomorrow. So keep watching us. Share us with your friends. Like Annie said, invite your salon owner friends because we are doing these lives every single day during this crisis. We're here to support you, right, Annie?
Absolutely. We certainly are, Nick. We just want to help you stay strong through this because we know how easy it is in crisis just to fall apart, you know, little bit by little bit by little bit. Oh, why me? Why, you know, but if we can just help you, just motivate you just to do one thing a day. We talked about this again last week, Nick. You know, forward is forward. It doesn't matter how slow you go, forward's forward. Just keep moving forward right now. That's so critical to the longevity of your business. We want you on the other side of this. You know, I know there's all kind of numbers being bandied about 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. I don't feel that. I think that, yes, we have a new lifestyle now, but people will adapt. And as soon as the curve has stopped, things start to settle a bit, people are not going to want to be in their houses forever. They are not. They're going to get cabin fever.
That's exactly right.
You know, the world governments and ours in particular, they can't let all industries just fail here. And it doesn't matter that the government is throwing billions of dollars at small business to help them get through this. If it goes for those long periods of time, there is no saving, you know, industries. So we just have to think this through sensibly, that at some point we're all going to be going back to work. if you're not at work now, you will be going back to work. So you
Mm.
want to go back to a business that has still got customers,
Mm.
right? Otherwise, you're going to be starting from scratch.
That's
And
right.
only the businesses that have been adaptable and do the work now will still be there. So
Yeah.
you just don't want to go back to a business and not have customers, let me tell
No.
you, and have to start again, because someone's going to come and scoop them away from you if you do that.
Well, I can guarantee you right now that that's exactly what will happen, because all the salons I'm working with, they are not stopping marketing. They are continuing to market non-stop. And if we need to change our marketing, if things change with what's going on out there in the world, then we'll change our marketing to suit that. But all of the strong businesses out there are going full steam ahead, and they're not stopping. So we urge you to do that as well. Tune in every day, because we're going to be with you every day. We want you to thrive throughout this crisis, and you can. We've just released an ebook as well. We'll drop a link. This ebook it's part of a much bigger course, which we usually sell for $2,000, but you can get it for $79 at the moment. So we'll drop the link for that as well. Take a look. It's 7 strategies that you need right now to help future-proof your business. So anyway, that's it for us tonight.
Well, Nick, just one other thing before we go. Sorry. Yeah, it's just important that I think that we acknowledge this. There's a lot of other mentors and coaches out there right now talking about, where you're going to get money from, government departments, all of that kind of stuff. Now, you and I have elected to stay right out of that conversation because everybody else is doing it. You don't need us to rehash the same information. So we're not going to be talking about stimulus packages, other than to say, if you want to buy equipment, now's the perfect time because you're going to get your rebate. But we're not going to be talking about the stimulus, the $20,000 small business or the $100,000 for medium-sized businesses. We're going to stay right away from that. So please, just bear with us. What we want to do is just keep you excited and motivated and on track, because this is not about how much money that the government can throw at you. If you think about it this way, Nick, how many people win the lottery or Powerball, Lotto every single week and become multimillionaires, and how many of them end up destitute? So it doesn't matter how much money you get. If you're not smart, you'll end up destitute anyway. So this is not about this is not about how much money the government is going to throw at you right now. This is about you doing the work, staying strong, being adaptable through this process. Sure, a little bit of money might help as far as wages and things like that go, but you must be doing the work. Don't rely on the government, the handouts right now.
No, because once the handouts are gone, they're gone. That's it.
And where does our government get that money from, Nick? Our government is borrowing the money so that it can do this. So eventually it has to be paid back. And how do we pay it back? In high taxes, of course. So eventually it will bite us in the bum. You might get the money now, but you're going to pay for it down the track somewhere.
So that's basically, in a nutshell, we're going to stay business focused. We want you to build strong business foundations. We all know that there's packages out there from the government. It's all over the news and other people's pages, but our priority is to continue, like we always have, to help you to become better business people. That's our goal, and we're going to keep on that same trajectory. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Don't forget, we've got Janie Bennett tomorrow night. I'm super excited, and to have her in my presence, because we've been doing video lives for a long time, and I've certainly done a lot of TV presenting, and like I was once a snow reporter, would you believe? So that's something you didn't know about me, Annie. I was a Threadbow snow reporter. So I've done a lot of media in my life, but I've never had any formal training, and I've certainly never had a mentor like Janie Bennett before. So I'm super excited about that. We'll see you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock with Janie, but Annie and I will be popping in tomorrow morning as well.
Take care. Good night. Stay strong.
Good night. Bye.